What is up? This is alertwolf here to bring you another DC Nation review, and this time it is of Young Justice Season 2, Episode 18, Intervention. Or Invasion, Episode 18, well, whatever. Okay, this episode was really good. I have to say, the DC Nation block this week was firing on all cylinders. It's like flaring out because both shows that are brilliant are about to end. And this episode is obviously about these two. Now, the episode starts off with an action-packed fight, brief fight, between between Black Beetle, Mongol, and then Green Beetle intervenes. And it's just them fighting. They kind of gang rush him back into the pod, and he's frozen again. Cheap way of ending the fight, but it was still a fight, And against two Beetles, that's pretty tough. I wish I saw more of it, but it was the correct choice of the Green Beetle acting. Then they went and checked the chamber, noticed the key was gone. Now they have to guard the key, but then they realize that they can't guard the key chamber because the Justice League is there, and they're not going to openly fight them because they're about subversion and tactics. So instead, they're going to guard the perimeter of the chamber. But, again, the light is working its little mojo against the Reach. So then, we get, Blue Beetle is being admonished for being the hero that he is, and we see he's literally under remote control. Meanwhile, the other guys have to form a plan to try to get Blue Beetle back, and because they want to save him. We also get a little subplot here. The only subplot here, and I'm going to just get rid of it real fast because it's not even worth mentioning after this, is Miss Martian breaks up with Lagoon, and that's pretty much that. She gets him from Atlantis, his leg is healed, and she ends up breaking up with me with the classic, it's me, not you. Then she wonders, when they get back to the blue, to the temporary base of operations, they ask where's Superboy, and he was out with Wendy. So you get that feeling, and he's obviously neither of those two characters are happy, and she's feeling down. She calls him a rebound. That sucks. That has to hurt. But alright, that's that. And that's that little subplot. Now back to the main plot. So, he's doing one of these press junkets where he beats the Toy Man of all people. And he's flying home. And what's cool is you finally get to see inside his head. Or not see inside his head, but hear inside his head. And Jamie's still there arguing with the Blue Beetle. And at the same time, the ambassador dude is mouthing everything the Blue Beetle says, and is fully controlling him with a remote control slash microphone. That's interesting. But you know what? You can tell that the Blue Beetle is holding back a little because he doesn't like being under the control of the thing. You get that little foreshadowing because he's like, whoa, hate watching you guys pretend to be me because it's important, or else your parents would be in danger. Why would he say that? Why would the Beetle say that if he didn't slightly care? And then, so Impulse and Batgirl attack Blue Beetle, and Batgirl catches Blue Beetle by surprise for a second, and he's like, this is stupid. You can't hold me. This is Blue Beetle talking, and she's like, all I need is a second. And then Impulse runs up the rope, vibrates his boosters, he falls down, and then there goes the fight. Then it's Impulse and Batgirl versus, and she tries to knock him out with knockout gas. That doesn't work. Uh, she gets pinned to a tree. Excuse me. Impulse then attacks. It takes him a while to figure out the pattern. Then he gets Impulse. But then he gets put in a force field by Rocket. And then, you know, he's like, the Reach leader is like, there's a way to counter this, right? He's like, I'm working on it. And the scientist was there. She's like, he should know how to counteract this technology almost immediately. This shouldn't be hard for him. Why doesn't he know this? So that almost makes you think like he's stalling. Now the whole time, there's a mental battle or a mental sparring contest going on, because Jamie's talking all types of smack to all these guys, because the Blue Beetle can hear him as well as the Reach counterpart on the ship that's controlling him. So that's cool. And then right when he's about to escape from the bubble, it's reinforced with magic from Zatanna. And then they can't breach the bubble. He's trapped. They go back to Queen Bee's country. And this is where they found in a previous episode, earlier in the season, I'm not even sure. Yeah, earlier in the season when they were looking for the runaways, the Blue Beetle Temple. Now that they know where the Blue Beetle Temple is, they go to construct. They're trying to. They get attacked as soon as they enter the temple. They're able to beat those guys and temporarily hold them off. And then the purpose is they're going to use the temple to fix Blue Beetle. Now, in order to save Blue Beetle, the Reach sends in Green Beetle. So now both Beetles are there fighting. And the team is holding them off. Now you have Impulse there, Rocket, Zatanna. Now Zatanna's in the middle of an awesome spell. She's like rebuilding the temple, merging with... It's all crazy. Rocket's indisposed because she's holding the shield together. And now so you have Impulse, Batgirl, you have Bumblebee, Wonder Girl, and they're fighting the Green Beetle. And then in an awesome move, right as the spell is going, they had to drop the bubble on the Blue Beetle, so he fires. The Green Beetle fires. Impulse is so fast because the Green Beetle's still tied up with the magic lasso that he throws the Blue and Green Beetle into the center ring and takes the hit and knocks them down. Meanwhile, they're both in the field right at the opportune moment where the spell works. And that's it. Now they've lost both Beetles because, no, not them, the Reach. And you see the screens turn off for them. He has no control. She's like, what did you do, the science counselor? She's like, I warned you that this could have been the place where they used it to reset the Scarab. And now we've lost the Green and Blue Beetle. If had you only sent in the Black Beetle, this would never have happened. Which I'm going to agree with, Black Beetle being strong as fuck. And you don't even know what the Black Beetle's personality would be if he was ever set free. So, whatever. And there you go. The spell works. As you can see right there, this is right after the spell's performed. The two are set free. Hell, I think the Blue Beetle hasn't even fully gone away on that picture. But, and there you go. And the Blue Beetle talks to Jamie and it's like, listen, man, I'm glad we're out of the Reach control. You know, I'd much rather have our partnership than their slave. So there you go. This confirms those seeds earlier in the episode, the foreshadowing. And the Green Beetle, it's been so long since he's been freed. It's awesome to see him free. So what happens is they leave the temple because the others break out, and they're in enemy territory anyway. So as they're leaving, we get the full history of the Green Beetle, or the Blue Beetle, which is Ted Lord had the Blue Beetle. He got it from the original Blue Beetle, who's an adventurer who found it and was the original Blue Beetle. He thought it was magic, and it got passed down to Ted Lord. And then when he got the Blue Beetle, he realized it was alien tech, so he never used it. but became a superhero on his own without any superpowers. He knew and then years ago when the light was trying to get to the Beetle, he sacrificed himself to save it, and that's when Jamie gets the Blue Beetle. So you get the idea of the full history of the Blue Beetle, which is awesome because they kind of muted it at this point, and we never did get the full story. I mean, obviously his death is a little different. They showed like Deathstroke and others there trying to get him. In the original DCU, Ted Kord, not Lord, I keep messing that name up for some reason, was killed by Maxwell Lord. See the difference in names? Kord is K-O-R-D, Lord is L-O-R-D. I've been messing up on Ted's name. But anyway, he gets killed by Max in Infinite Crisis in the original DCU. That's the difference between the deaths. And sorry for the misenunciation there and messing up Ted Kord's name. Basically, the episode ends with the episode ends with Killer Bee. It's like, I know it must have hurt to lose on purpose to the kids, but it serves the plans of the light, and now we have the Reach and the Justice League right where we want them. So there you go. So again, everything is turning up aces for the light's counter plans to the Reach. So this is pretty good. I'm digging it. I love it. Again, this episode's a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a great episode. Just stellar. The fact that now the Green Beetle and the Blue Beetle are back to being good, great. And I can't wait to see the next episode and see how things develop. You know, it was pretty cool to see all the magic being done. It was pretty cool to see how they were controlling the Blue Beetle. So, alright, with that being said, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is alertwolf signing out.